Let's do our top 10 list now from the Home Office in Oklahoma City. Top 10 things the Reagans did in Japan for $2 million. They received $2 million to go to Japan and what? And what is this? Hal?
$2 million for a trip. You already know what I'm about to say. This wasn't a speaking fee. Not a speaking fee at all. The Reagans got paid $2 million to go to Japan, and nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever explained why. You've felt it, haven't you? That itch in the back of your brain whenever you hear about the old Hollywood crowd slipping into politics. You know, just like I know, that money like that doesn't move without strings attached. So let me just stop here for a second. Let me slow down, because I need you to really hear what I'm about to tell you. This isn't some tabloid rumor. This is documented. This happened. And the reason they buried it is the same reason they bury everything that makes the powerful look. Well, you'll see. Here's the thing though. The transcript we pulled, and I want you to stay with me here, it starts like it's nothing. A late night show bit. A guy in Oklahoma City laughing about a top 10 list. But listen to what he says in the first 10 seconds. Top 10 things the Reagans did in Japan for $2 million. They received $2 million to go to Japan. He says it like a joke, like a punchline. But you and I both know that's exactly how they do it. They hide the truth in plain sight, dress it up as comedy, and dare you to ask the next question. And the next question is the one they don't want you to ask. What were they actually doing over there? The show cuts to chaos after that. Lights go out. Someone's drying their hair in the studio. An old building, old circuits, sure. That's what they want you to believe. But watch what happens next. They start talking about sodium pentothal, truth serum. It's like some kind of rehearsal, the host says. Some kind of experiment. Now, why would a late-night comedy show mention sodium pentothal right after bragging about $2 million from a foreign government? You don't need me to connect those dots for you. You're already there. But before I get to the really disturbing part, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how the same names keep showing up? Hollywood actors turned politicians, TV personalities running for office, and every single time there's money, huge money, from places that don't advertise what they're buying. Japan in the 80s wasn't just handing out $2 million checks to former presidents for fun. That's not how international power works, and you know it. Now here's where it gets interesting. The show keeps rolling, keeps joking, keeps distracting. They talk about Debbie Gibson's perfume. They argue about dinner party guests. They make fun of Willard Scott's hair. And then actually, wait, let me rephrase that. It's not what they say that matters. It's what they don't say. Because the entire segment is structured like a magician's trick. Watch the left hand while the right hand picks your pocket. The left hand is comedy. The right hand is a $2 million question nobody has ever answered, she said. Actually, let me tell you what one of the hosts said. He starts rambling about Victoria's Secret. What is Victoria's Secret? He asks the audience. And then he introduces Victoria and her secret, Jean. And the camera cuts to a woman who looks, well, you've seen the photos. You already know what this looks like. This is the part where the veil slips, just for a second. The part where the joke becomes the confession, and the audience laughed. They always laugh, that's the point. But you're not laughing, are you? Neither am I. Because here's the truth they don't want you to know. The Reagan administration normalized something that used to be unthinkable. A sitting, or recently sitting, president taking a private payment of $2 million from a foreign nation. And the media called it a speaking tour. They called it consulting. They called it anything except what it actually was. And the reason they got away with it is because the people who should have been asking questions were too busy making jokes. You know what happens next? Every time. The pattern is always the same. Somebody powerful does something that would land you or me in federal prison. And instead of outrage, we get distraction. Instead of investigation, we get entertainment. And the people who try to connect the dots, the real journalists, the whistleblowers, the ones who saw it happening in real time, they get called conspiracy theorists. They get silenced. They get told to stick to comedy. And this is the part nobody talks about. The transcript ends with the hosts talking about smashing things with giant hammers. Later in the program tonight, they say, we'll actually be smashing items with 2 giant hammers. And the audience cheers. They're telling you exactly what they think of you. They're telling you that the truth gets crushed, that evidence gets destroyed, that the people who ask the wrong questions get hammered down until they stop asking. But you haven't stopped. That's why you're still here. That's why you watched this whole thing. Because you felt it too. That sick feeling in your stomach when you realized the people running the country were the same people who thought $2 million from Japan was a punchline. That the same networks that made you laugh at the jokes are the ones who buried the story. That the people who should have protected the truth were too busy selling ads. I don't have a neat ending for you. I don't have the final piece of evidence that makes it all make sense. Because they made sure that evidence doesn't exist anymore. They made sure the paper trail stops cold. They made sure the people who knew are either dead or too scared to talk. But you already knew that, didn't you? You already knew the answer wasn't going to be handed to you on a silver platter. So here's my question for you. And I want you to actually think about this. If the Reagans got away with $2 million from Japan on live television, in front of millions of people, with the entire media laughing along, what do you think they're doing right now? What do you think is happening today that we're all supposed to laugh at tomorrow? You know the answer. Just like I know the answer. The only question is whether you're going to type it in the comments, because that's the only place left where the truth doesn't get edited out.